Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we rescued Lostel from the Berry Forest on 3 Island, and this time, we're going to be exploring whatever remains of 1 island that we never bothered to explore. We're not actually going to be starting with Kindle Road, though, because we can actually surf below the harbor on 1 island. Normally they block off surfing, so it's pretty rare that you actually get to explore beyond the harbor in any of these islands, but this one's an exception. Amara. Wow, that's a major character in an Ace Attorney game. That's the only reason the name is notable to me. She just had 2 seals and a dugong, nothing too crazy. And here we are, if I can check here. Treasure Beach is the name of this area. Good things get washed up by the ocean current onto this beach. That's why I often come here for some beach combing. Alright, Treasure Beach's gimmick. There are lots of hidden recurring items. Some of them are always guaranteed to appear, while some are in Group B and a few are in Group C. So, I'm gonna do my best to look for all of them. There's an Ultra Ball down here that will always be here. Ultra Ball here that's always here. Pearl, it's in Group B. Another pearl that's in Group B. There's a big pearl in the middle of this patch of sand that's here in Group C. I didn't get it this time. There's a Stardust here. Stardust. Didn't I already get that? No, I didn't. Okay, there's a Stardust here. Cool. And supposedly there is a star piece around here in Group C as well. That's every hidden item on Treasure Beach. Not much else to do here, we're gonna head back to 1 island. We've been hearing a lot of talk about Kindle Road and the volcano at the end of it, so let's go exploring and see if we can find that volcano. You look different. I'm beginning to get a sunburn. Okay, who are you? I haven't seen your sprite before. Okay, that's not what you looked like at all. But sure. Following the theme of everybody else on this island, she had 2 Psyduck and a Golduck. Not a very interesting team, I am afraid. Heading up here, though, we finally made it to Kindle Road. This is Kindle Road. Go straight for Mount Ember. Alright, and as you can see, there's a new obstacle here, implying that we're going to need another fucking HM move. There are new Pokemon to go over here, as you can see on screen right now. I'm going to catch them probably too, but I want to wait a little bit because there's also a new trainer class here, so yeah. Picnic or Claire? Wow, Meowth! Who would have thought? I'll cut to whatever, anything interesting that happens in this battle or the end of this battle. Annabelle grew to level 52, beating her Clefairy, and is trying to learn Sand Tomb. Oh, Annabelle, your move pool sucks. That made me all sweaty. Me when I'm done with physical therapy. Genuinely. I don't think I've ever sweat as much as I have during physical therapy, but it is worth it. I can almost walk again. Okay. You know, everything tastes great when you're out in the wild. You know, somehow I doubt that. Camper Bryce. I don't like your name. Your name makes you sound like a dick. No offense to anyone named Bryce with that little comment, by the way. That was a little uncalled for. Here is our new trainer class. About time. Hello? Can you fight me? Stop walking in circles and fight me, damn it. There isn't a day in which we don't train. Crush Girl Tanya. In every other game, they're called Battle Girls, but here they are called Crush Girls, which, you know, sure. She's just gonna have a Hitmonlee and a Hitmonchan, though, I guarantee it. And they're both gonna go down in one hit to surf. Yep. Great battle, Tanya. It's always a pleasure. Level 52 for Umi. Hydro Pump. Say 120 power water type move with 80 accuracy. I'd rather have Surf. I prefer consistency over power. I'm such a fool. Me too. I get it. I'll train even harder from now on. Good for you. Switch Rhine to the front, and now that we're done with that and we just have a route to explore, let's go over the Pokemon that can appear here, because they're certainly Pokemon that exist. Ponyta and its evolution are pretty unfortunate in Generation 3. But to start with, let me just say that the only real problem I have that's specific to Ponyta is how late it evolves. Luckily in this game you catch Ponyta at a pretty high level, but it still won't evolve until level 40, and you're better off just catching a Rapidash. Rapidash, on that note, is a victim of being a fire type with a pretty weak special attack stat. If you're catching a Rapidash here, it will be best off learning Sunny Day, which it can use fast thanks to its speed stat, then using that sunlight to boost its own flamethrowers and fire blasts and to fire off solar beams without charging. Rapidash can also slightly make up for its weak special attack stat by switching into a predicted fire type move, though after switching in, it may not have a great option to deal with said fire type opponent. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say it, Rapidash's two best tools, Hypnosis and Baton Pass, are locked behind breeding involving Pokemon unobtainable in FireRed and LeafGreen, and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and without them, it really is just an unremarkable fire type with mediocre stats. I hate when NPCs have Protect because they always spam it. It's so annoying. Oh my god, he hit the triple protect! Holy shit, that's so rare. Protect gets less and less likely to actually proc every time you use it, so hitting a triple protect is like extremely low odds. Hitting a double protect is already only 50%, so yeah. This guy has luck to rival my own. His other Pokemon were just a Cloyster and a Wartortle, so nothing too interesting, although I do still appreciate him having a starter. Alright. No one else down there. I wanted to make sure I wasn't skipping anyone. My big brother and I make an awesome combination. We've already seen this trainer class, which means we technically saw a Crush Girl in the Kanto region, but this is the first area where we can actually see one outside of the Crushkin trainer class. This battle is one I would actually highly recommend for grinding before the Elite Four, if you're looking to do that. They're right outside a cave where there's multiple other trainers on screen as well, so you can pretty much just rematch them over and over again, and it just works out that way. I used these a lot as a kid when I was grinding, I know that for sure. And their levels are pretty competent too. Can you take out this Machokumi? Yes, you can, because the damage wasn't split between the two. And it was a crit. That just worked out. Ryan grew to level 52, beating those two. Huh? I can't believe it! How could there be anyone better than my big brother? How could my combination with Kia fail? I don't know. That's a car. I don't know anything about cars. Every morning before breakfast, I swim around this island. Cool. I just had a Machop and a Machoke. Dress appropriately for battle. Lose that frivolous outfit. What is with black belts in the Kanto region and like surrounding areas and telling me to remove articles of clothing? I am not a fan of that. This guy also just had a Machop and a Machoke. Even martial artists are becoming fashion conscious these days. Kids these days. Always wearing stuff they want to wear and all that. Back in my day, we wore Crocs, and we liked it. She had a Mankey and a Primeape. Oh, wait, what? It's clear that you're skilled. I like you. Wow, that's like the nicest NPC dialogue of all time. That was just a pleasant exchange, wasn't it? Welcome to the Ember Spa. We can run in here. I don't know why I'm walking. Soaking in a hot spring pool is therapeutic, people say. True, I have heard that, although I've never done that myself. I've sat in a hot tub, which, not a fan, personally, but whatever. Have a look at my face. See how smooth my skin is? The hot springs water keeps my skin younger than my age. Good for you. After an honest day of training, nothing beats a relaxing soak in the hot spring pool. Bruno, who's a senior ahead of me, visits the spa on occasion. He comes to rehab injuries, both his own and his Pokemon's. Good for him. My favorite part of bathing comes up right after this. I enjoy a bowl of chowder to warm me from the inside, too. This is heavenly. The water warms me to my core. You should jump in, too. Go to the middle, relax, and get good and warm. If you go to the middle, the water is perfectly warm. It feels exquisite. Winter and the Pokemon were fully refreshed. That is a full heal to your entire team. So, a natural hot spring is as powerful as a Pokemon Center healing machine. Hot springs go hand in hand with volcanoes. The Ember Spa here, well, I made it years ago. I hewed the pool right out of a gigantic boulder by hand. I was using this at the time. I suppose I can part with it. HMO6. That shatters boulders as if they were made of crackers. Well, white people are well known for being easy to shatter. HMO6 is a 20 base power move with a small chance of lowering the defense stat. This is not worth teaching to anything you intend to use on your team. However, Krabby is actually an excellent HM user for these Sevi Islands, thanks to the sheer amount of HMs it can learn. Looking at the Lost here, I have already taught it Surf, Strength, and Cut, and we're replacing Leer with Rock Smash. I'm so glad to have a use for the Lost. Genuinely. Chiding is now effectively retired for everything other than fly. It sucks a little bit that I'm not going to be able to fly away from here, and I'm going to have to surf back, but it's a small sacrifice. Anyway, with that done, we now have Rock Smash, which means there's a lot more we can do on Kindle Road, because look at all these things we need Rock Smash for. I do not like Rock Smash. This is, like, probably my least favorite HM in the series, just because of how weak it is, combined with the fact it's effectively identical to Cut in how it's used. This could have been just blocked off by Cut, but no, they had to put another HM in the game in the post-game. That's worse than the first one you get in the main story. Not a fan. Its hooves are 10 times harder than Diamond. It can trample anything completely flat in little time. Being harder than Diamond is, like, not something you put in there, like, that bluntly, I think. Like, Diamonds are hard. When using Rock Smash, there is a chance that a wild Pokemon will jump out. A Geodude attacked when I broke the first rock here. They're usually, like, level 8, and it's not a big deal. Got a Carbos for smashing these ones, which increases the speed stat. That can go on Rhine. Never mind, it won't have any effect. Rhine is already that strong. Lamp won't have any effect. Gaster would be my third choice, so I'm gonna actually wait to get him back in the party. Okay. Wow. I did not realize our team was that strong already. I guess I've had them for a while. I'm just used to Ryan being like the baby of the team, where we got him so late that his EVs weren't really up to scratch the same way everyone else's were. But no. We're in the post-game now, baby. Anyway, heading out of the Ember Spa, we can now surf north here. It's gonna suck a little bit because I did not spray a repel, and I'm not going to either, but that's fine. This is a lot longer of a path than I thought. I suppose I should probably fight the trainers here. I'll cut ahead to when I fought everyone. Ryan grew to level 53, beating this Fisherman's Goldeen. Let's learn Takedown. That's ridiculous when we've already had the opportunity to learn Thrash. Alright, finally beat all the trainers, and here we are at the very, northernmost point of the route. No items here, just wanted to make sure. Gonna make sure on all of them, though. Gotta be thorough. Welcome to Mount Ember. Can you imagine? If this volcano were to erupt, the explosion would be the end of us. How terrifying is that? Well, we're terrified. Would you like me to teach explosion? Thanks, dude. Continuing the trend of move tutors being, just the weirdest people possible. Gaster is the only Pokemon we have who can learn this, and I would not teach it to him anyway, but this is a really good move tutor. Yeah, you're right. It is too terrifying. Can you stop existing? Mount Ember, as has been stated, is I was going to say an active volcano, but I guess it's an inactive volcano. Although, it could erupt at any moment, apparently. It just hasn't erupted in a while, so... You know. Do you know how caves form inside volcanoes? I do not. Are you a new trainer class? You are! Pokemon Ranger Beth. Pokemon Rangers. This is their second appearance. Their first appearance is technically in Ruby and Sapphire, but this trainer class would eventually get its own spin-off series for Pokemon games on the Nintendo DS, which is very funny. The first Pokemon Ranger game is technically a Generation 3 game, even though it is a DS game, which is weird to think about. I grew up with the first Pokemon Ranger game, and I could never beat it. I got stuck in a part with, 2 Hariyama or something, but, I beat Guardian Signs, and I think that game is really good. I'd love to make videos about the Pokemon Ranger game sometime, but I've only played Guardian Signs, so it would not be anytime soon. Easily took her out. Acha! You're shockingly good! I love that. Acha! When lava at the surface of magma hardens and the magma inside flows out, caverns are left behind. That's actually cool to know. I didn't know that. Pokemon teaching me, probably pretty basic geology. I've been in training so I can mend my broken heart. It toughened me up physically, at least. Hiya! Cool. What are you gonna have? I feel like there's not much interesting to say about Mount Ember. It's not really a dungeon in the sense that it's maze-like. It's more just, I mean, it's technically like a cave area. There's just no cave for us to enter, really, right now. We're more just going to be worried about climbing to the summit of Mount Ember right now. 2 Hitmonchans? Couldn't have just thrown in a Hitmonlee, made it a little more interesting. No wonder your heart is broken. No, that's actually extremely mean. I should not have said that. I think I tried to overdo it. It happens. The way you battle, it reminds me of the guy who dumped me. Maybe I was more spot on than I thought. God damn. An active volcano is one that's erupting, or about to. Okay, well, they're just correcting me on my geological information constantly here. Execute. Okay. Pokemon Rangers do tend to use grass-type Pokemon, as can be seen by the last person using, Gloom and Oddish, and this person using Execute, and probably an Exeggutor, we'll see. I don't know for sure, but my notes do say someone has a level 40 Exeggutor, which I suppose is this guy, because he just sent out a level 40 Exeggutor. Whew. Okay. There is a single new encounter on Mount Ember, in Pokemon LeafGreen only, I think. So, yeah, let's go over that real quick. Magmar is fine. That's really the best I can say about it. Without breeding, Magmar is pretty much just an okay mixed attacker with access to Flamethrower through level up at level 41, along with Hidden Power, Iron Tail, Psychic, and Brick Break. It's also a decent user of Substitute and Focus Punch. Before getting access to breeding, it doesn't have access to Thunder Punch, which is pretty important to Magmar. And after getting access to breeding, you'd have to raise it up by about 35 levels just to get it to an even near competent level. Magmar is ultimately just another example of a Pokemon that's just okay, and that you should just use if you like it. I did actually find a cave on Mount Ember. I do not remember this. I don't know where this leads, but hopefully not anywhere, like, that I was that unprepared for, I guess. Where am I? Machoke appears here. Cool. We could have seen Machoke earlier than Victory Road, I guess, if you're looking to have a Machamp before then. What is this? Why is this not written in my notes that this is here? We're going up, so this might actually be the intended path, and I just didn't remember it going inside the caves, but I don't know. This feels odd. Okay, yeah, we're at the summit, and we can hop down this way to get back down. Okay. I remember this area now. Much better. Dire hit here. I only hopped down because I want to explore a little bit more before we head to the peak. Summit. It's not a peak. It's not a mountain, it's a volcano. Although it is kind of still a mountain, but you know. I'm being pedantic. Towards the entrance, there's these two Team Rocket grunts. Over here. We'll try digging here. That treasure the admins have been talking about should be here. What the? You're in the way. Get lost. Yeah, they don't seem to want to talk to us right now, and they don't seem to have gotten the news that Giovanni has completely disbanded their organization, so we'll come back to drop that on them later, maybe. I think we've actually seen everything outside of the summit, so I'll meet you back up there. Okay, back at the summit, we have a strength rock smash puzzle, like, combination, which they didn't really do this at all in Ruby and Sapphire, which is the game that introduced rock smash as an HM move, so I'm at least glad they're trying to get a little bit more creative with it if they're gonna force me to use it in the post-game of a Pokemon game, which I will never get over as long as I live. Go ahead and use strength, and we can just push this. That should be okay, hopefully. We're gonna use Rock Smash on this. Please no Wild Encounter. God damn it. I feel like Wild Encounters are way too common with Rock Smash in Generation 3. No matter what region, just in Generation 3 as a whole, it can get really, like, frustrating with how common they are. Up here. Firestone. Okay. Can be used to evolve certain Fire-type Pokemon and Eevee. And then what's over here? An Ultra Ball. Well, that's convenient, considering what's coming. And another Firestone. Okay, two on the same, like, area of the map, really? Okay. Here we are at the summit. We are going to go ahead and use Strength again, because we dared to walk up a set of stairs, so it had to deactivate it for us. Else we'd be too powerful. And would you look who it is? I missed you at Victory Road, man. Gonna go ahead and check the recording and save before I do anything here. So any complaints I had about Mount Ember, I think, are effectively deleted by the fact that Moltres gets his own dungeon and is made available before fighting Giovanni, the same as Articuno and Zapdos. I really, really appreciate that fact about FireRed and LeafGreen. But, at the same time, kind of a lame dungeon. Though, to be fair, kind of so are Seafoam Islands and the power plant, so whatever. Lame dungeon for a Pokemon in a trio that's full of lame dungeons. Wild Moltres appeared. Moltres is really solid in this generation. It benefits from a solid speed stat and immunity to ground-type moves, allowing it to get in any given battle, fire off flamethrowers, fire blasts, hidden powers, and overheats for severe damage, and cause opponents to lose PP twice as fast thanks to its ability Pressure, paired with its good enough bulk. It can also set up Sunlight effectively thanks to these same qualities, allowing it to boost its own already strong Fire-type moves, or play a supporting role to other Pokemon on your team that might benefit from Sunlight. The main weakness Moltres has is its few but very common weaknesses. Electric and water are both common attacking types that Moltres lacks a really solid answer to, and rock types outright wall Moltres if you don't have a water or grass type hidden power. Moltres requires supports to function at its best, but when those supports are present, Moltres counters many opponents that you might otherwise struggle against. Moltres, I am begging you, please, dear God, do not give me as hard a time as Zapdos did. I doubt it will. I'm sure this thing also has agility, but it at least can't paralyze my Pokemon. Fire Spin isn't going to be doing anything to Lamp, although hopefully that boost in power doesn't make Flamethrower kill Moltres. I wanted to lead with Lamp here because Fire Spin and whatever other fire move, Flamethrower, that it has isn't going to be able to affect her. But that does effectively mean this is as much as we can weaken it. We don't have a way to really inflict it with a status condition anymore since we got rid of Sleep Powder, so I'm just going to start throwing balls. I don't want to risk killing it by using anything else. We have 40 Ultra Balls. Dear God, do not let this be a repeat of Zapdos. That is all I can possibly ask for. But I'm not going to ask for it. I'm going to beg for it. Pokeball. Ultra Ball, even. No shakes at all. Okay. This is I mean, I don't think it has a single thing it can actually do to Lamp. It has Endure, Agility, Fire Spin, and Flamethrower, so this is literally all this battle is gonna be, is just throwing balls until this thing struggles to death. Which hopefully does not come very soon, because I would like to catch this. Ultra Ball. Okay, if it's not gonna shake at all, then, like, none of this is going to get into the video. You gotta at least let me, like, say 1, 2, and then it's really content, Moltres. You gotta understand. 1. That was close. Not quite as rehearsed, but, you know. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that could have been so cool. I'd only thrown 9 Ultra Balls by that point. That would have been sick if that had just worked that early. I would not have been opposed at all whatsoever. 1. Great. 1. Great. 1, 2. Almost had it. 1, 1, 1, 2. Oh my God, I've used almost 20 Ultra Balls already. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! It was just barely over 20 Ultra Balls. Compared to Zapdos, that was nothing. It is said to be the legendary bird Pokemon of fire. Every flap of its wings creates a dazzling flare of flames. Don't nickname legendaries around these parts. Alright. We've caught all 3 of the legendary birds now. That feels cool. There's nothing else for us really to do here, so let's get out of here. Alright, made it back to one island. I don't think there's actually anything for me to do here, though. I'm gonna head to 2 Island. I should have shown this in the last episode, since we were already here at the end, and this already happened, but now that we've rescued Lost Stell, we've only opened up recently, our merchandise is limited, but I hope we can serve your needs. Never mind. I thought this stock was supposed to increase after rescuing Lost Stell, but I guess not. I guess that's tied to something else, then? Okay. Sure. Moltres. Let's see how our guy is. Quiet nature. 110 attack and 110 defense. 146 special attack, 91 special defense, 93 speed. I don't know what quiet is. Which I guess means I should look up what quiet is. This is plus special attack minus speed, which is actually pretty good for Moltres if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely not the best possible nature that Moltres could have, but it's not bad at all. I'll take it. We're gonna go ahead and go back to Vermilion City. We've done all we can do in the Sevi Islands for now. And we're actually going to fly back to Pallet Town. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we're going to be paying a visit to Professor Oak to see what he has to say about our Pokedex. See you guys then.